Hi, so in question 12, there's a couple of ways we can attempt it. And again, we don't really need a calculator, although some of the numbers are a little bit big. So having your calculator there might be useful if you're not too confident of some of these slightly bigger numbers. You may be wondering why there are a bunch of questions in the test paper that don't really require a calculator, even though they're in the calculator section. There's no really good answer, really, other than we can't cover all the material in both sections. So some of the material needs to go into the calculator section where if you want to, you can use a calculator, but it's not strictly necessary. But we also do put questions in there that do require a calculator explicitly because of the fact that the numbers are tricky or something like that. So let's have a look at question 12. There are two ways of doing it. I'm going to show you the easy way of doing it that requires more thinking though, and then I'll show you the way which almost everyone would have done it. Here's the tricky way. This, if you think about it, says that delta is less than 0. Okay, it says that here, delta is less than 0. So that means that there are no solutions for this equation here. There are no solutions. So graphically, it means there's no x-intercepts. So if we look at this and treat it like a function, that bit there, we can see it's in turning point form where -6 is the where 6, it would be the x coordinate of the turning point, and k would be the y coordinate of the turning point, and it's a minus. Okay, so what you could do is you could do something like this. You could say f of x is equal to negative x minus 6 all squared plus k. Therefore, it's frowny because there's a minus in front of the squared bit, so it's a reflection. And therefore you've also got that this turning point here would be 6 comma k. So since the discriminant is less than 0, there are no solutions / x-intercepts. So what you could do is you could draw a little graph and say, well, what does it look like for there to be no solutions? It has to be under the x axis. So I can basically do this, where that's 6 comma k. And what does that mean? What values could k possibly be that will allow us to have the graph underneath the x-axis? Well, k could be anything as long as it's negative. It could even be negative 0.00000001. So therefore, k is less than 0. Okay, so not much working out to do, but a lot of thinking to do to get k less than 0. But let me erase that because I know that most people would not consider it that way. Should have paused the video while I was doing that, but I'm nearly through now. The other way of looking at it is doing a straightforward discriminant problem. And via the discriminant, we can say, well, what is the discriminant? The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac, but we don't know what a, b, and c is yet because it's not, this equation here is not in the right format. So we're going to have to do something about that first. So off to the side we go. We've got minus x squared minus 6 2s are 12x plus 36. So I just expanded the square. If that looks confusing to you, then that means you need to do a little bit more work on those algebraic techniques. And now I'm just going to expand that negative, which effectively means making everything inside the opposite sign. And here we go. This is the bit that's needs to be looked at really carefully. What is it? I always write them explicitly down. What does it mean? A is equal to -1, B is equal to 12, and C is equal to -36 plus K. It's the bit that doesn't have the X in it. So it's the sum of these two numbers, but effectively it's a single number really, whatever K is. If you subtract 36 from it, you'll get what C is. So C is -36 plus K. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means that the discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4 multiplied by a, which is -1, multiplied by c, which is -36 plus k. Let's follow this through to its conclusion. We've got 144. -4 times -1 is +4. So I've got positive 4 outside of minus 36 plus k. Expand that right-hand side bit. We've got 144 minus 144 because 4 times minus 36 is 144. And then plus 4k. And so therefore we've got the discriminant is exactly equal to 4k. So what? Well, if 4k equals 0, sorry, I won't say that. I'll just say, therefore 4k is less than 0 because that's the condition we started off with. That's what it says here. Discriminant is less than 0. So what does that mean about k? Well, as long as if I divide both sides by 4, that's fine. So I'll have k is less than 0, which is what I had before with my more thinking but less calculating kind of way of doing it. So there you go. It's up to you which way you do. Both are equally valid. This one requires probably less thinking but more number crunching, and therefore sometimes errors can creep in. The other one certainly would be faster if you can identify exactly what this actually really means and translate it to what this actually really means.